Got someone with no symptoms yet, 5 minutes, okay, yeah, you can go a couple minutes longer.
I guess he's ready. You're on, Bruce. Drive back to school bus. So where are all your guys at? On this side or
Oh no.
that side?
So
Oh,
like
the person that
Yeah.
we're the
was,
only
like, recording?
we're the only two from Norfolk, and
Yeah.
then we're just here for
some
pre-entertainment.
people told us to record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I got one guy down over there, but I'm more interested in the big guy down here. He's the confident one.
Yeah, for us it's just us two.
okay, that's what I thought. It wasn't but the two of you. You know, if you're recording somebody on this side, you can come over here if you wanted to. It's okay. It's just I'll have to get in there to that valve one
Okay.
more time. But yeah, I'll let you know I'm gonna do that. So I won't
See my guy
shove you out of the way or
down
anything.
Oh, got
Alright,
you.
so-
So I hit that, be like, oh no.
I know. You gave me a thumbs down already.
What's the worst reaction you've seen?
I mean, probably the worst as far as hypoxia goes. Somebody, I've had people pass out. I mean, literally just like,
Like just
passed
really
out.
quickly, like they're
Oh
fine
yeah,
and
1 minute they're
perfect, and then-
fine. You ask them, you know, hey, how you doing? How many symptoms you got? And they're like,
Mhm.
they're just done out. Yeah, they're just out.
All right, this is Roger on the outside. I'm going to be speaking to you from out here. Again, on the inside with you, inside one position. Up front here is Brad. Sitting in the back will be Bruce. Driving the bus today is Eric Simpson. And what we're going to do from this point forward, unless I'm speaking specifically to you, we'll be using the hand signals as well. If I'm talking directly to you or you need to get our attention, those of you that did have the mic can come across intercom. Those that don't, you'll need to get a hold of your inside observers with those hand gestures. But the one hand gesture that you need to be familiar with is when we're on ascent or descent, if for some reason you're having issues with your ears, this is our level off sign. Let me see everybody do that. That tells us, and most specifically Eric, that we need to stop the chamber on the ascent or descent for that matter, and the inside observers will take over at that point. But barring any issues, I don't think that that's going to be necessary, but you now are informed. With that, with Brad's permission, we're going to go ahead and start our ascent on up towards 6,000 feet. We're going to do the ear and sinus check that I discussed in the classroom. And really all we're looking for as we go up and come down, and again the ascent rate will be 3,000 feet per minute, unless of course you tell us differently, but 3,000 feet per minute up, 3,000 feet per minute down. That's more than likely a little bit faster than what you're used to on a typical flight in terms of cabin pressure change. That's not an issue as long as you stay ahead of your ears. Now keep in mind, the way we equalize on the way up versus the way we equalize on the way down is a little bit different. The only thing that we need to do, and what you heard back there is the door leg, that the only thing holding that door shut at ground level is a door leg. As the pressure changes and as we start ascent and the pressure drops on the inside, that door is drawn in, that lug slips and drops. It's actually a safety feature now. The only thing holding that door shut is pressure. If we have to change our minds here and me and Eric say, oh, mandatory government break, and we get out of here, well, Bruce can control the chamber back there with that knife valve. All he has to do is open it up, let pressure in, and then when the pressure on the inside equalizes with the pressure on the outside, that door opens up. So it's really a safety feature. Didn't mean to scare you with the loud noise before telling you what was happening. But if I tell you, then everybody just waits for it to happen. All right, we are on our ascent. I told you that we do equalize just a little bit differently on the way up versus the way down. The only thing you really need to do on the way up is rock your jaw, yawn, or just let it happen. But no need to do a Valsalva. The Valsalva being the maneuver where you pinch your nose and blow. No need to do that on the way up. If you think about it, the pressure is already expanding in that middle ear. And when you do a Valsalva, you're forcing more pressure in there. So you want to avoid any additional pressure being forced up into that middle ear on ascent. And once we get to 6,000 feet, which we're inching into right now, things change. Once we start our descent, that's when you really want to start focusing on the equalization in terms of added pressure. And that's where we're at right now. So give me a thumbs up if you're doing okay. Hold it. And everyone's good? All right, we're going to go ahead and start our descent with Brad's permission down towards ground level. Now, anytime I say descent, that is your cue to stay ahead of the ears. And what I mean by that is whatever it takes. Whatever your pet methods are probably a good place to start. If you get by with just rocking your jaw, swallowing, that's fine. But today with that quick descent, you might also have to kind of add a Valsalva every now and then. And if you notice, with that mask on, it's going to be slightly different than doing a Valsalva with it off, obviously. You have a soft shell, and both Brad and Bruce will demonstrate here. But if you're going to do a Valsalva with the mask on, come up and over the top, squeeze that soft shell, keep your shoulders square and your chin slightly elevated, and just give your nose a quick puff, like you're blowing into a Kleenex, but pinch it as you do. And it should be a quick burst, just enough to force some pressure up into that middle ear. Level.
Okay, we're level.
Down at 3? All right. Was it an issue or just a misunderstanding? Okay. He's good to go for the main flight right now? Iffy. Okay. Very good. All right, with that in mind, we are continuing our descent. Now, again, anytime that you feel that pressure build up, that's the time to do the Valsalva or whatever your ear clearing maneuver is. You don't wait for it to become an issue before you get to that point. Now, if you have a problem getting to your nose with this mask on, you can do a two-handed method. Brad will demonstrate. If you look up front here at Brad's going to show you how to do the two-handed method where you grab the mask around that metal tongue, pull the mask away, come up and over, and pinch your nose that way. So if you need to use two hands, you can, but at least practice the one-handed maneuver because that's more likely that what you can afford inside the aircraft itself. But for today's purpose, if you need to use two hands, that's okay with us. All right, we are close to ground level. I want to go around and make sure that everybody is on the same page in terms of you had no difficulties on the ear and sinus check, and you do want to go on with the main portion of flight. If that is other than that, if anything other than that, stop us and let the inside observer know. So if everything is good and you want to go on, when I call your name, please give me a thumbs up. Reed? Good. Subuntu? Good. Meredith? Very good. Ryan? Awesome. Austin? Good. John? Paul? Very good. Let's come to the other side here. Leonte? Good. David? James? David? Other David? A lot of Davids. This is going to get confusing when you're hypoxic. Franco? And they're sitting next to each other. Deborah? Very good. And Oscar?
Right here.
Okay, we're going to let you do the prod, Oscar, all right? But Oscar, what we'll do is you can stay in there, watch the video, and then before we start the main portion of flight, I'm going to pull you out, okay? You can take your mask off if you want to right now. Okay, very good. We're going to raise a video screen. We're going to watch a short video on decompression sickness. And once it's done, we'll be ready for the main portion of the flight. And make sure that we get you out before the main portion of the flight, Oscar.